Also talk to entrepreneur fitness guru Chris Coop. She's going to give us a call. But first, what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Before and after the salon has been active in the Richmond, Virginia community, providing hairstyling services for over 10 years. Before and After is located in downtown Richmond at 1917 West Carey Street. Specializing in weaves, extensions, and growing healthy hair, Before and After provides a full suite of hair care services. Expert stylists Michelle Smith and Alicia Clark are well trained to meet your styling needs at Before and After the salon.
Are you tired of dating online? Bloom Matchmaking offers a safe and effective alternative. Every match is vetted and background checked. Bloom Matchmaking offers a personalized experience just for you. Check us out at bloommatchmaking.com or give us a call at 804-205-5063. Let Bloom take the stress out of dating. Mention On the Mic with Mike and receive 20% off. That number again is 804-205-5063. Bloom Matchmaking, where love grows.
Hi, my name is Daquan Woodbury, also known as Chef DQ. The restaurant industry is going through a hard time right now. With COVID-19, a lot of things are going on. Restaurants are shutting down. They might have to even close their doors for good. In the past few months, we've seen how life can change dramatically in a blink of an eye. Fortunately, I've created a system, a proven system, that allows restaurants to stay successful in this new way of life. As the owner of RVA Cafe, I would love to help you through these challenging times. Go to redindigofood.com for more information.
Thank you, attorneys Justin Lauder and Chris Gatewood at Threshold Counsel PC for sponsoring this program. They offer startup, business, and intellectual property services for innovative and growing organizations. You can find them online at threshold.cc.
Hi, this is Eli Cook, and you can catch me on the mic with Mike this Friday on 100.5 and 92.7 FM.
I enjoy listening to On the Mic with Mike every day at 1 p.m.
That's what I do!
We had already talked to the other one. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome to the program my friend, entrepreneur, fitness guru, and expert, Chris Coop. Chris, welcome to the program.
Hey, Mike, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. All right, so let everybody know who you are, what you do, and then we're going to talk about what you're doing right now.
Awesome. Well, my name is Chris Coop, hailing from Richmond, Virginia. Born and raised. Did some military time. Had an amazing time in active duty in the Air Force. And that's when I kind of got my passion for health, wellness, and fitness. The Lord so navigated the circumstances of my life to bring me back to Richmond, Virginia. Had the opportunity to teach at multiple gyms in the area and decided I wanted to open my own. I love helping individuals get healthy, get fit, get well. It's been a passion of mine probably for the past 15 years. And now we're in the Richmond area helping people do that every single day.
And the name of your company and business is?
So we have a location out in the Chesterfield area called Royal Results, 7525 White Pine Road, just off of Iron Bridge and 288. And we also have a platform, an all-ladies full-body workout called Pretty Hips and Thighs. Ladies only, of course. So we help ladies to embrace who they are and who they want to be with fun, flirty fitness.
And so that would be fat, as you've let me know.
That's right, yes. Pretty Hips and Thighs, PHAT, as they like to say, our fat class. Yes.
As the fat class.
Miss
Okay.
Miss Coop, I would like pretty hips and thighs. How do I can't join
So,
that class?
Chris Coop, this is Mike Lee. He's a motivational speaker. He's just a man about the. Now, he's okay. I'm just gonna let him talk.
No.
Go for it. What's up, Mike?
Can I want pretty hips and thighs. Now, what do you have a class for us? I believe Mr. King, Mr. Mike King would like to join that class as
But
well.
Chris Coop,
No,
Mike Lee is slender.
Workout classes. I mean, we're going to get you the results that you're looking for. So the name of our actual location is Royal Results. So we get the results that you're looking for. If it's to lose weight, gain weight, if you're looking for more energy, we are able to provide all of that to you in one location. And then we have that Pretty Hips and Thighs platform where we're able to just do it just for the ladies.
I understand.
Just for the ladies. But what happens in Pretty Hips and Thighs does not have to stay in a Pretty Hips and Thighs class. Ladies are able to use that at their own free will.
I love it. Thank you.
There you go.
Questions answered.
There you go. Just so we're clear with that. So, Chris, talk a little bit about on the business side how you survived, because you really made a run of it. You've done well. Talk a little bit about how COVID has affected what you've done.
Yeah, definitely. So we have a location, and while we're not a gym, we are actually a nutrition company, and so we offer healthy shakes, healthy teas, energizing boosting teas. And so because we're on the nutrition side of the house, we were able to remain open and still offer our classes because our focus is on the nutrition. So we believe that it's 80% nutrition, 20% of the fitness. And so because of that, we were able to stay open during this time, offering great classes, offering amazing shakes, giving people some amazing results. Even during COVID, we've had people dropping weight, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. We have a young lady that's hit 30 pounds. And might I say, when I say she's young, I mean she's retired and young, down 30 pounds. And even during this crazy time, we allow for accountability and support and letting people know that we're all human, we all slip and fall, but we're all on this journey, this wellness journey together.
So now the herbal that you deal with, you can say it if you want here, but you're a rock star in that world. You've built a team. Explain to people the idea of how to build a successful team.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, yes, we have a tremendous team. So I'm with a company called Herbalife. And from Herbalife, we have the opportunity to be entrepreneurs and get outside of the mindset of go to school, make good grades, and go work for somebody else for the rest of your life. So that kind of goes into the team that we create. When we look at individuals, sometimes we make assumptions, and they're like, oh, they drive a nice car or they have a really nice job. But usually people that have a lot of money don't have a lot of time freedom. And then people that have the time freedom don't necessarily have the money. So in our company, our job allows you to do what we love every single day. We love coming into the nutrition club and giving a smile and giving support to the person who in their full-time job, they may not hear, hey, you look amazing today. How was your day today? And just giving them the support that they're looking for. So we actually have many clubs in the Richmond area. We have one in Henrico off of Schrader Road. We have one up at Lothian Turnpike. We have one that's opening on December the 5th in Dinwiddie. We have, of course, mine in Chester. We have one in Wichita, Kansas. We just did a second-year grand opening out there. So the amazing part about this is that you become your own business owner. Now, mind you, I do this business part-time around my full-time lifestyle. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of two. And when I started this business, I was actually homeschooling both of my kids. I still work for the federal government. And in all of that, I'm also in school. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a fitness instructor. And I'm also a doula.
A doula. Okay, all right, okay.
I am a doula.
So, Mike, do you know what a doula is?
Baby?
Well, Chris, he did say, but I had no clue what a doula was. So, Mike, how do you know what a doula? Mike, how do you know what a doula is?
I'm well versed in a lot of things, my friend.
Yes.
I'm well versed in a lot. You know, I, to be honest, I have no idea how I know what it is, but I know. Some way, somehow, I know. I think a couple of my friends were talking about having children at home. And,
Gotcha.
and through this, that's how I was connected to a doula.
Okay, Chris, could you let the other listeners, not like Mike Lee, more like Mike King, could you let the other people know what a doula is as opposed to a midwife? Now, I had heard of a midwife before. What's a doula?
Definitely. So, great question. A doula is a support person for someone that chooses to go natural. And so while we do not practice medicine in any way, shape, or form, if you kind of compare a midwife to a doctor, which they don't practice medicine, a doula is going to be like a nurse. But again, I don't practice medicine. So we're giving mommy and partner. And we say partner because we're very fluid in the world that we live in. And sometimes it's mommy and mommy, or it might be a mommy and her mother who might be her support person. So whoever the support person is, we're giving them encouraging items. So giving support for pain for mommy. And sometimes it's like, we're giving back rub to mommy, and then dad's over there hyperventilating, so we're giving back rub to dad too to calm him down. And so we're putting, doula really just means a helper. That's really what doula means. And then in the context, a doula is helping mommies who deliver babies natural, and as well as their families.
All righty. So what's happened with that, with COVID? Like, what's happening in that world when COVID and the pandemic hit? Like, what did it do to them?
Yeah. So very interesting. So when we were in phase 1, it was really difficult for mommies and partners to have a doula support person in with them. And so they were, in some cases, not even allowing the partner to be present in the very beginning. Now that we're kind of into phase 2 and phase 3, it's not so intense anymore, and so doulas are allowed to be present. But a lot of mommies have chosen to do home deliveries instead, just because they feel it's cleaner, it's more sanitized, just to have baby at home. And a lot of mommies, they can deliver at home. It's just the mindset of, I have to be at a hospital, and we don't say anything against that, but you can also have baby at home and be just as safe as if you were at the hospital. So it hasn't really it hasn't stopped us from doing our job. We've done quite a bit of consultations over the phone and maybe some Zoom calls, as compared to typically the first meeting might be face to face. But that's really been the only thing that's been altered from this.
Ms. Coop, how does one become a doula? If there's somebody out here listening about, are there certifications? How does that happen?
Yes, there is, definitely. So there are several nationally recognized doula certifications. I'm through DONA, and with DONA, you have to do, I believe it's been some time, but I believe it was a 10-week long birthing class, and you can select whatever birthing methodology that you prefer. I chose the Bradley method, that you can also do hypnobirthing, you can do Lamaze, and so as a doula, you would have to actually go through the class, and you're in the class with other mommies and their partners who are learning the class as well, and then you have a 4-week or 4-day training, which is just back to back on different things, different techniques, learning proper hand procedures, listening, because being a doula is really about, I like to look at it as being an energy, being connected with that mommy and knowing what she needs. And oftentimes mommy gets to a point where she becomes nonverbal. And so you have to know what that mommy and that family wants, and you become the voice for that mommy by way of the partner to say, hey, why don't we try this? Maybe we should do that kind of thing. And so you kind of learn how to connect with people in that energy type space. And then you have to do, for my certification, it was 5 births and not paid, 5 births. And they would submit a letter to DONA. And then there's a couple of books we have to read and a couple of essays as well. But it's really fluid in that it allows for a broad information. There's things that we don't also like to think about, but there's sometimes if mommy doesn't carry the full term, well, how do you be a doula, a bereavement doula? So there's a lot of things that we go through. Yeah, you don't really think about it, but there's things that we have to be prepared for, because those, like 1 in 5 mommies, they will experience that. And how are you a support person for that?
Wow. When you said that, we both said at the same time, like, ooh.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
It's not something that we normally think about, but as a doula, we have to be cognizant of that, and then knowing if we are able to do that, and if not, we have to be able to put our client in touch with a doula who can provide that support if that does happen.
Wow. Okay, Kris, we're in the middle of pandemic now. I know you have your parents.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about being in the middle with kids and a parent and making that connection now, because everyone's out there trying to figure out how to do it.
Communication is the key. So when you're working from home and your children are there as well, and being an entrepreneur, or as I like to be called, a mommypreneur, at times when I'm in the middle of a meeting, and my kid has something has to happen and those kinds of things. And communication, sometimes we actually have It's funny. We have signs. And so it's, if my daughter holds up, if it's a red, it's like, okay, Mom, I need you to stop what you're doing, please. I need help. It sounds funny, but it's like if I'm in the middle of a meeting and it's like a red, and, you don't play around with the red sign. And it's a yellow one, like, can you take a break? Am I actually speaking on the call? Can she interject? That kind of thing. So we kind of use those. It's been really fluid. When it comes to a team, and working with the team and helping them to achieve their goals, their wellness goals, their personal goals, as well as business goals, communication is huge. And I don't know if you've ever heard with the personality test with like Pearl. You have your Pearl, you have your Ruby, you have your Emerald, you have your, I'm missing one. Oh my goodness. But just knowing how to interact with different personalities, and also being understanding that so many people are dealing with so much right now with the pandemic. And in our capacity, we're oftentimes like that sounding board. Like when they come into our nutrition clubs, we're kind of like that counselor, just that like, hey, how is everything going? And they just kind of like have the opportunity to dump because someone really wants to listen. And it's like, so what happened with that, that situation that you have going on at work, how that go down? And we really listen to our clientele. And we believe there's no problems. We have the answers to everything. So if you need energy, we've got something for that. If you need to sleep better at night, we have something for that. If you just want to have someone to talk to, we have something for that as well. So it's been an opportunity for really connecting with individuals. We are a business of relationships. So we just build amazing relationships, and we get to hang out with our closest friends like every single day.
It's always a pleasure when I deal with Kris Coop. Always. Not only the business side, personality, and a cool military officer, too.
She's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, Kris, let
it.
people know how they can find Royal Results one more time.
Yep, so we are located in Chesterfield at 7525 White Pine Road, just off of 288 and Iron Bridge. You can also find us on Instagram at Royal Results and on Facebook, Royal Results as well.
All right, Kris, take care. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Kris Coop of Royal Results. I'd like to thank you for coming on. Make sure, if you're down that way, make sure you get down and see her. The atmosphere is outstanding. The shakes are on point, too. And,
I appreciate it.
All righty, take care. Ladies and gentlemen,
you.
I'd like to thank you for coming on. Up next, we're going to talk to, so it's the two Mikes today.
Yeah.
It is Mike Lee rolling with us today, talking about everything. We're also going to talk to the ladies of the Jackson Ward Collective about the incubator that they have created over in Jackson Ward to help entrepreneurs. With that being said, we'll talk to you on the other side.
Hi, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy with Beyond. I believe it should not be confusing or expensive for your business to accept credit cards. As a social enterprise business advocate, my mission gets you paid faster with fair rates, helping your business grow. We can be contacted at area code 804-503-8472, 804-503-8472, or at getbeyond.com. Again, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy. Quick, easy collect. We make it easier than you expect.
Hi, Chef Michelle here of Ma Michelle's Cafe, home of the Soul Rolls, located at 10811 Hull Street Road. Give us a call at 804-912-1644 or order online at mamichelle's.com. Ask about our off-site catering options as well as our online ordering through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Follow us on all social media at Ma Michelle's Cafe. That's Ma Michelle's, Soul south of the James. Mention Mike on the mic and get a free dessert on us. Special rules apply.
My fellow Americans, John Fredericks here. Across our nation, people are working day and night to destroy our Second Amendment. We can no longer sit idle. What will we pass down to our children? Our Second Amendment is the only thing that guarantees our freedoms. Once our gun rights are gone, the rest follows. History dictates. It's up to us whether our children grow up in a free country or a foreign country. Here at Peacekeepers Apparel, we watch all 50 states and donate to nonprofit organizations such as the Virginia Citizens Defense League that have teams of pro-Second Amendment lawyers that challenge these infringements. Our Bill of Rights affirms that our rights are God-given and cannot be dismantled. Our right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, period. We must not be divided as gun owners. We must stand as one body. Join the fight and become a peacekeeper at peacekeepersapparel.com. Check out our awesome products and know that a portion of each sale goes towards combating tyranny. That's peacekeepersapparel.com, P-I-E-C-E.
Happy Monday, I'm Kiara Johnson with your WJFN 100.5 FM weather report brought to you by Dominion Energy. Richmond, sunny today, high around 60. Tonight, low 38 and clear skies. Charlottesville, 61 degrees is the high, sunny. For your low tonight, 38 and a clear sky. Fredericksburg, 61 degrees, sunny today. Tonight, clear skies and a low of 36. This has been your weather report. Please visit dominionenergy.com.
Ponder this. One of the most frightening things I remember as a child was the thought that I might accidentally remove a tag from my pillow. Remember the warning? Do not remove under penalty of law. The thought of being put in jail for removing the tag would keep me up at night. This begs the question, what keeps you up at night? Losing sleep because of our worries takes valuable time away from good sleep needed to function on all cylinders in the next day. How do you stop your thought-induced insomnia? Here's a recipe you might try. First, say a prayer to the Lord like, God, help me stop worrying and start sleeping. Next, tell yourself that worrying produces no results. In fact, worrying often begets more worrying. Finally, tell yourself you will deal with whatever is weighing you down in the morning. 3 easy steps to a restful sleep. Calling on Almighty God to help with problems big and small is the Lord's specialty. As he told us in Jeremiah, call on me and I will answer you, and I will tell you great and mighty things which you do not know. Try this recipe for sleep, but whatever you do, don't remove the tag from your pillow. I'm Susie Kelly, and I am passionately Catholic.
Welcome to the SBA Weekly Business Tip. I'm Martin Short with the U.S. Small Business Administration, Virginia Richmond District Office. If you want to retain complete control of your business but don't have enough funds to start, consider a business loan. To increase your chance of securing a loan, have a business plan, expense sheet, and financial projections for the next 5 years. Once you're prepared, contact banks and credit unions. Compare rates and offers to get the best terms. To learn more, visit us at sba.gov/VA. We're here to help you start, grow, expand, or recover.
Mike King here, host of On the Mic with Mike.
And I'm Paula, the host of Modern Love.
You can find us together 1:30 on Fridays as
We talk about all things love. We talk about how modern matchmaking works. We talk about getting into a healthy, real relationship.
Stop swiping left and right and learn how to find love in all the right places. Paula Pardell, Modern Love Friday, exclusively on the Mic with Mike, and only heard here on WJFN 92.7 and 100.5 FM.
Are you experiencing difficulties with paying your mortgage or bringing your mortgage current? If so, we can help. Give Neighborhood Home and Assistance a call at 1-800-441-6872 or text 757-951-3048 for the immediate response. We have over 10 years of mortgage experience working with some of the largest mortgage corporations in America. For more information, visit neighborhoodhomeassistance.com to schedule your free over-the-phone consultation. Remember, time is one thing we can't get back, and your home is your investment. Act fast.
I enjoy listening to On the Mic with Mike every day at 1 p.m.
That's what I do!
Hi, this is Eli Cook, and you can catch me on the Mic with Mike this Friday on 100.5 and 92.7 FM.
on the mic with Mike. We're back, 1:35. We're here with you daily, 1 to 3 p.m. WJFN Radio, 100.5, 92.7, 820 a.m. Riding the day with Mike Lee. He is the most interesting man in the world. He's rocking and rolling with us today. He is, he's turned the studio upside down. Al Green and myself, we're in here just enjoying the man coming in and talking. What you had heard the music was Eli Cook. He's going to be in on Friday in this area that I'm calling from 2 to 3, the Swagger Studio.
Hey.
I'm just, the most, I got a lot of swag, so.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, right.
Yes, you
And
do.
so what I'm doing is having local talent come in and, performers, and we're going to give them their time, talk to them a little about the show and the business part of it. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we got the man back in the building. Mike Lee is here with us.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
So Mike Lee is a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, man about town. Sir, once a friend of mine said to me, he said, will you be my black friend?
I know this is going.
So, Mike Lee, sir, you are going to have to speak up for the folks who are sight impaired.
Yes, sir.
All the questions that we ever wanted to know and ask,
I'm here.
You're here to answer them.
I will be your blind friend.
You will be my blind friend.
I'll be your blind friend.
All right, so if you'd like to talk to Mike Lee, the number is 804-778-8888. So, Mr. Lee, there's certain things I got to talk to you about.
Yes, sir.
Now, you do things that have people concerned that maybe you are not what you are.
Absolutely.
I see you out there doing yard work.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What kind of yard work were you doing, sir?
Well, here's the thing. So
when a person starts off with here's the thing.
Here's the thing. My mother, since I lost my vision, I'll give you a short end of the story for people who don't know.
Yes.
I was shot in the face when I was 12. I lost the vision out of one eye.
Okay.
From 12 to 24, I was just like everybody else. Well, not like everybody else. I had one eye.
No, not everybody.
Yeah.
Most people have.
Well, played ball, went to college, did my thing. I lost my vision out of my other eye when I was 24 due to a condition called optic neuritis. But what's beautiful about my experience is my mother never treated me any differently. My mother always treated me just like any other kid. I had to go out there and cut the grass, had to do everything. So when I lost my vision the second time, when I was 24, she didn't treat me any differently.
So she just kept up. The life stayed the same.
Absolutely. So she put no limitations on me, so I didn't put limitations on myself. Now, the problem with that is she still asked me to do everything she would ask you to do. So when I go to visit my mother. She lives in Carrollton, Virginia. So when I went to visit her recently, she said, I need these hedges cut. So I'm thinking.
So ladies and gentlemen, the man does not have sight, and his mother's asking him to cut, and you did a good job.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
And people question, like, Mike Lee, Mike, just stop it, man.
Yeah. And
how can you get that like that?
Yeah, and I had to figure it out, and that's it. Like everything else in my life, I have to have a plan and figure out how to make it happen, and I did it. I had a process. Like I got the little electric joint, whatever you call it. I got it done.
He didn't even know what it's called, the electric joint.
Yeah. What's it called? What's it called, man?
I don't know.
Yeah. What's it called, Al? You do yard work, Al? Yeah, that's it. Thank you, sir. I don't use them, but I know the word doula, but I don't know.
So we're questioning your card right now, sir.
So the electric hedge clippers, we got it done. I went out there and I cut everything. I did it.
Okay, so what most people know about being blind are kind of like for me, I'm speaking for me.
Uh-huh.
Ray Charles.
Absolutely.
And Helen Keller.
Helen Keller and Stevie Wonder as well.
And Stevie Wonder. Okay, but see,
yes.
It's not a Stevie Wonder movie.
Yeah.
Like with Ray Charles, when his mother told him, she's not going to treat you any different. Mm-hmm. And that's what she put in him, so he had to learn. Mm-hmm. And you're saying that's what happened to you. Your mother didn't treat you any different.
She didn't treat me any different. But you also have to understand I was 24 when I lost my vision the second time. So when I had the optic neuritis, I was actually working. I was in the world. I was teaching in Hampton Roads, teaching at Robert E. Lee, which is no longer there, elementary school, and that's when I lost my vision. So I had to go to a school for the blind, right? Mm-hmm. Went to my first school for the blind here in Richmond, actually, the Rehab Center for the Blind on Azalea Road. So that process actually, because initially I thought life was over as I knew it. And I learned that life had just begun.
So the period when you, ladies and gentlemen, the voice you're listening to is Mike Lee. He is, the show today is called The Two Mikes.
Yes, sir.
And Mike Lee is here talking to us. Now, when you lost the vision at 24, was it a slow process?
No. I was coming back from a wedding in Philadelphia. I had a headache, one of the worst headaches I'd had in my life. And I had a meeting the next day with my principal. I went to bed that night, woke up, still had a headache in the morning. Went to school, did my meeting, went to class. I was having problems seeing the board. Make a long story short, I realized I needed to do something. So I made an appointment with my optometrist. The optometrist looked in the back of my eye that evening and said, Michael, there's something wrong. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but you need to go to the ophthalmologist immediately. She set up an appointment for the next day. I remember driving home, and I couldn't see the difference in the colors of the traffic lights. And I could see the lights. I knew what they were, but I couldn't tell what was yellow, green, or red. So I just thought I was exhausted. Because at that time, I was doing so much. I was on my way back to school. I just came from New Orleans, kicking it hard with the family and friends. And I probably should have rested that weekend, but that when I got back, I went to Philadelphia. So I always tell people, I live a life of service. I consider myself to be a servant leader, right? But if you choose to serve people, you have to serve yourself first. And that's what I wasn't doing in my life at the time.
A lot of people miss that point.
Yeah.
I never understood the idea. So when you're in an airplane, they say put your mask on first.
Yeah.
Because the natural inclination is to put it on a kid first or someone else first. But if you're not of service to yourself, you can't be of service to them.
Absolutely. And especially for you, Mike, because think about what you do. You bring, just in knowing you in the short period of time I've known you, I've connected with 3 people that are amazing people, right? But you're the sinew that connects us all together. So without you, none of this would happen. So if you don't serve yourself, all this is going to fall apart.
Sometimes people look at that and they could think that could be on the selfish side. Because sometimes people think when you take care of yourself, selfish, that's what happens.
I think a part of life and a part of growing is a part of being selfish, right? Because if you understand that selfish nature is what's protecting you and what allows you to protect other people. Because if we're not here, what can we do for other folk?
Okay, so that day, what was the thought process when they finally told you?
And this is a crazy story. So
You are full of crazy stories.
Yeah, I got a lot.
I mean, you've gotten your money's worth.
Yeah, I come from a praying family. So initially when I lost my vision, I was scared. I'd moved back home at the time trying to get my own house in Hampton Roads, and I was living with my mother. And as you see, I like to have a good time.
Yes,
so,
sir. Yes, sir.
So when I woke up that morning, I felt I was in a state where you're up but you can't move. I thought that's what it was. Don't know exactly what that Mr. Green knows what it's called because he knows everything. But I was.
He's holding his hands up like I don't know what you're talking about.
So I thought I was in that state, but I realized I could pinch myself, but I could feel it. I realized I could hear my mother, I could hear the TV. I realized I could move, but I saw absolutely nothing. I saw pitch black, and I was confused and I was afraid in a moment. And I called my mother's name. I said, "Mama," and I'm 24 years old. Like I'm afraid, right? Calling out for my mother, "Mama, I can't see." Mom's like, "Man, if you don't get up and go to work, like, yeah, like." No, I was like, "Mother, I can't see." She came in the room, and that's when it hit me. But I knew I couldn't totally freak out because I didn't want to freak my mother out, right? But she knew it was bad when I couldn't put my clothes on. I couldn't find my clothes, and it touches me just to talk about it now. Like I couldn't get myself together, right? So she said she knew it was bad when she walked me to the car, and I walked the wrong way. Like I didn't know where I was. So we went to my doctor, Dr. Friend at the time, and they admitted me to the hospital. We was in there for a while, and we found out I have a condition, optic neuritis, which is considered temporary vision loss, right? It statistically comes in middle-aged white women, and the middle-aged white women that receive this or get this condition, the majority of the time their vision comes back to full restoration, and mine did. So I was in the dark for a year, and my vision came back the way it is now. I see shades of light, see some movement, but all my colors are muted. So I can't see your beautiful face, Mr. King.
Well, the man did. Well, I am rather a handsome man. If I may say so myself. Shout out to my wife. She's gonna think that's kind of funny.
Oh man.
So when What was that process like? Were you scared? Because now all of a sudden, at 24, you have to learn everything all over.
Absolutely. And this is what I was saying about my grandmother. So for a year, my family said, you pray to get your vision back, your vision will come back. You ask God for this, and it'll come back to you. And I had
prayed hard.
I had that prayer every morning.
And when
every
nighttime came, what happened?
In the morning when I woke up, got on my knees, I prayed. In the morning I got up, I would open my eyes first and look for my vision to be back. I was still in the dark. So my prayer changed. I prayed for the strength and endurance to bear what I was going through, not necessarily get my vision back. So then that's when my process of learning to live again started. When I first went to my school for the blind, I met a guy by the last name of Troy Bowser. Amazing guy. Has a family now, working hard, got kids, but he sees absolutely nothing. He was in Newport News, got his car shot up 100 and some holes in the car, went into a coma, lost both of his eyes. Sees absolutely nothing. But when I met Troy, I realized I was in the music at the time. He was in the music. He liked the ladies. I like the ladies. We like to have a good time. So that's what we got into.
It was a marriage made in heaven.
You better believe it. So he taught me that life wasn't over. Life had just begun. Life had just begun for me. So I learned how to live again. And I went to that school for the blind, went to a school for the blind in Baltimore, and found my way back to Richmond. Here I am.
So, and that's where the motivational part comes. So when
Yes.
you talk to people, that's the idea of the story.
Yeah.
It wasn't, could see one day, it's gone the next day, and and all that. You had to come to the realization that I can make it. Here's another one that people always want to ask: why do blind dudes always wear sunglasses?
Well, 'cause it's about that swagger you talked about earlier.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay.
It's about that swagger.
There you go.
Swagger Fridays, right?
I thought it was,
It's about that swagger, right? So, and some people hide behind those sunglasses as well. And my story was, I don't have my sunglasses on right now, but certain light tend to bother my eyes and, make my eyes water, right? But so when I first lost my vision, I always wore my sunglasses because I know people would often look into my eyes and be like, oh, is he blind? Is he not blind? Is he looking at me? I see him looking at this. I see him looking at that. So it always caused people to kind of question my existence, right? And I was afraid of that. So I would always wear sunglasses, morning, noon, and night. I have them on all the time. And I realized I am who I am. I want people to accept me for who I am. So that's on them.
Okay, so now, you knew you were coming here. You didn't know it was going to be this right here.
Oh, I'm here. We're here.
You're here.
Yeah.
Okay, we see the commercials where they talk about where your system is off for people who totally can't see.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know. It's the difference between night and daytime.
Right.
Talk a little bit about so people can sort of understand that world.
So that is about circadian rhythm, right? Because we're all moved by sunlight, moved by the light.
Okay.
So some people who can't experience that, it's difficult for them to know the time of day, or they don't have that same pull from the sun that you would have. And
okay.
I'm not in that place because I can still see light at a certain point, but I still go through bouts of insomnia as well, and I believe it's attributed to my vision loss. So, yeah, I think that also confuses a lot of people because there's a small percentage of people who are blind that are totally blind. So people who are not exposed to that assume when you're blind, you're saying, I see absolutely nothing. And that's a very small part of my community. Although it's an important part of the community, it's a small part of the community as well. So I think there's just, and I try to explain to people, a lot of people say, well, oh, you can see something like, so I guess it's okay for you. No, it's not. It's a very difficult world in existence that I have, right? Because I come from being totally sighted to what I am now. So it is difficult. I have good days and I have bad days. Now, you might not know it unless you're very close to me, but it's a struggle. And I think that's a struggle that a lot of people are not connected to. Because like you said before, your connection to blindness was Helen Keller
and Ray
Charles,
right?
And
the Stevie Wonder one, which is, who picks out Stevie Wonder's clothes? So, they need to work. They need to help the man.
Yeah, they need to get them braids right too.
Yeah, they do. The braids when he was on a struggle tip.
Yeah, I heard his braids. But that's the thing too. Like people want to know simple things like that too when I go places. Like how do you dress yourself? Do people pick your clothes up? No, absolutely not. I try to get my lady to help me pick my clothes out, and she's like, look, I've had enough of that. Like,
yeah, because I bet you could be on a persnickety side.
Yeah, persnickety. I like that word. Mr. Green, did he say he called me persnickety?
That's straight out of Lincoln. That's from Lincoln.
I
Thank you.
can be.
I'm sure you can be.
I can be. So I have to do things myself. For a while, I had an app on my phone that would read the colors of things. I could put it on the phone and read it. But now everything basically is tactile to me. I know where I put my suits in my closet. Like I know I have a pinstripe suit on. It's kind of gray. Has light stripes on it, right? And I know I wonder where my black turtleneck went. So I know where it was in my closet. Got my turtleneck with good. Even the pocket square, I know it's the black with the paisley on it. I had it a certain place in my box, so I know where it is.
So it's all about organization. Plus you're rocking the alpha pin there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alpha 5.
I see you got.
Yeah, I have my good brother John Dantzler here with me. Yeah. Alphas for life.
I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Bo Jackson, Norfolk State. So one of your proud brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, the time 150 on the mic with Mike. It's the two mics today with Mike Lee. We got some more things to talk about. I see you in the swimming pool, man.
Yes. Fort Lauderdale. It was a good time. Shout out to the Conrad in Fort Lauderdale.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
This is the man right here.
Yeah.
You do more sight impaired than a lot of people do with 2 eyes, 4 eyes. You're living life to the fullest. You're getting your most out of it.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Give people the idea how to do that.
So, like for me, it first started when I lost my vision. I went back. My brother was living in New York, 239 East 2nd Street in New York. And
my wife is from right down there.
Really? Mm-hmm. Hell's Kitchen?
No, the Lower East Side.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so fine. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
we're going to talk about that.
Yes, we would talk about that.
So 239 East 2nd Street. So that's where my brother was living at the time. My father, God rest his soul, lives in Germany. That's another story we'll talk about as well. My father lives in Germany, and we'll talk about after this too. So my father lives in Germany. He came to the States to see us, right? And it's the first time my father seen me when I lost my vision. When he saw me, he cried. He lost it. Like he literally, couldn't take care of himself. And he realized, he said, Mike, what do you want to do? Like, maybe we should just stay in the house. I said, no, Pops. I want to walk the Brooklyn Bridge. I've been in New York 1,000 times.
But I never walked the bridge.
Never walked the Brooklyn Bridge. We walked the Brooklyn Bridge. I want to go to the Empire State Building. I've never been to the Empire State Building. I want to do things that I took for granted when I could see. And that's how I live my life now. And the crazy story is I'd been to the Louvre before, right? Sighted. Mm-hmm. I went to the Louvre blind, and it was a totally different experience. I sat in front of the Mona Lisa. Now, I'd seen the Mona Lisa before. I looked at it like it's way smaller than I thought it was going to be. Walked by, I didn't really pay attention to it. I saw it when I was blind, and I literally stayed there for like 3 hours because I was listening to the energy of all the people that were around me. Everybody was so excited. You just hear cameras working and all of this, man.
What you're telling me is a man who can't see spent 3 hours looking at the Mona Lisa.
Absolutely.
That's
I
why
saw
who
it through
you
a different
are.
lens. Yeah, I was able to see it through a different lens, and it was so, and I was also thinking when I could see it, I took it for granted. Like, I literally looked at it, said, oh, that's cool. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, and walked away and kept moving. But to see it visually impaired, it was just so powerful and so overwhelming to be in that space and have that experience. And that's what my experiences have been like now. Like I try to take everything in. I'm a little more connected to things than I was when I could see.
Because you're slowing down, taking the time.
Absolutely.
Because people would think with the clothes that you have something in your clothes to tell you what color it is and what it is.
And you can do that too. There's so many different advances now. You can put things in your clothes and you put it on your phone. Your phone can read it. And when I first went to my school for the blind many years ago, 2002, I think, I would put tabs on my clothes, like a pen, and put a Braille tab on it, and I could tell, I put a BLK on it, could tell it was black, or, tell it was white, or have a certain system for myself, but I don't do that anymore because it was starting to put holes in some of my clothes, right? So I just have a process. And there are times when I don't know what something is, so I'll ask my daughter or I'll ask my lady, I say, what is this? And they'll tell me and make sure I'm right. But now when I left the house today, my daughter was doing her thing at school. I said, are you busy? She said, no. I said, how do I look? She said, you look cool.
And when she said that, you was good.
She said, you cool. I said, okay, we good. Because when I'm not looking cool, she'll say, you know what, maybe do another pocket square. Or that bow tie's not working. And I listened to her. I said, okay, well, here's the choices. She'll tell me the choices, and we'll move on.
Because we did have a conversation about the bow ties when you were here before.
Yeah.
But sometimes I see your man rocking.
Yeah, he rocked the bow tie.
He rocking the bow tie.
Too. Yeah.
Is it an alpha thing or just cool guys? I just want to know.
Well, a part of being an alpha is being a gentleman of excellence as well. So,
Yes.
you know, we're haberdashers. We take care of ourselves. But I think it's just a cool guy thing as well.
Okay. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So, the time's 1:55. Mike Lee, Mike King here with you. We're just talking, two mics talking about life, business, everything in between. Time's 1:55. We got to go away, and we'll be back shortly.
Hi, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy with Beyond. I believe it should not be confusing or expensive for your business to accept credit cards. As a social enterprise business advocate, my mission gets you paid faster with fair rates, helping your business grow. We can be contacted at area code 804-503-8472, 804-503-8472, or at getbeyond.com. Again, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy. Quick, easy collect. We make it easier than you expect.
Do you want a crystal clear picture of your finances? Dial 804-601-0532 and schedule your free financial review with Crystal Clear Financial Solutions. Find us online at crystalclearfinancialsolutions.com.
Thank you, attorneys Justin Lauder and Chris Gatewood at Threshold Counsel PC for sponsoring this program. They offer startup, business, and intellectual property services for innovative and growing organizations. You can find them online at threshold.cc.
Oh, hello. I'm Louise Keaton from the Whistle Stop Theater Company. You're listening to On the Mic with Mike.
Every day
at 1 p.m. Cheers.
Dessert Diva RVA. Specialty boutique with specialty products, providing custom experiences. Our dessert boutique is open on the weekends. Every dessert made from scratch. We also offer date nights and event decor. Dessert Diva RVA, the official home of Hardy in a Box.
Welcome to your neighborhood wellness store. Your journey with wellness is our #1 priority. We can help you navigate your journey through our cold-pressed juice bar, CBD products, health and wellness products to include hemp shea butter. Relax and unwind in our Wi-Fi lounge and more. We are located at 14822 Hull Street Road or online at yes2hl.com. Phone number 804-818-2867.
Are you experiencing difficulties with paying your mortgage or bringing your mortgage current? If so, we can help. Give Neighborhood Home and Assistance a call at 1-800-441-6872 or text 757-951-3048 for the immediate response. We have over 10 years of mortgage experience working with some of the largest mortgage corporations in America. For more information, visit neighborhoodhomeassistance.com to schedule your free over-the-phone consultation. Remember, time is one thing we can't get back, and your home is your investment. Act fast.
I enjoy listening to On the Mic with Mike every day at 1 p.m.
That's what I do!
Hi, this is Eli Cook, and you can catch me on the mic with Mike this Friday on 100.5 and 92.7 FM.
is WJFN Goochland, WJFN Chester, 100.5 FM, 92.7 FM, and AM 820.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. States are renewing their push for more federal money to deal with the fallout from the coronavirus outbreak and to help them distribute a vaccine once one becomes widely available. They're facing renewed restrictions on businesses, the end of unemployment benefits for those tossed out of work by the pandemic, and overloaded hospitals. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says Democrats have rejected GOP efforts to get federal virus relief to the states.
Instead, our Democratic colleagues have spent months, literally months, holding all of that urgent help hostage over unrelated left-wing wish list items.
The manual recount of votes cast in the presidential election in Georgia has turned up about 2,600 previously uncounted ballots. But state elections officials say it does not affect the outcome in the Peach State, where Joe Biden leads by roughly 14,000. Lawyers for President Trump are in court in Pennsylvania. They're trying to block certification of the vote that would see Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes go to Joe Biden. Also at townhall.com, Senator Charles Grassley is in self-quarantine. That's after revealing he came into contact with COVID-19. Bob Agnew has more in this report.
Senator Grassley's revelation comes just a day after he opened the Senate on Monday with this advice.
Wash your hands, limit your activity outside your household, social distance, wear a mask.
Grassley says in a statement, quote, I learned today that I've been exposed to the coronavirus. I will follow my doctor's orders and immediately quarantine as I await my test results. The 87-year-old Grassley, just the latest GOP senator to quarantine. Similar announcements came in recent days from both Florida Senator Rick Scott and Senator Todd Young of Indiana. Bob Agnew reporting.
And on Wall Street, stocks are lower. The Dow off 165. More at townhall.com.
Let's say you've decided to build a bicycle from scratch. Sounds like an impossible project for my skills, but let's say you've got the skills and I offer you an advantage, a special tool that would help you build the bike faster while saving you legitimate money. My guess is you'd say, bring it on. If you wouldn't, well then this commercial isn't going to make much sense. My name is Ryan, I'm from United Faith Mortgage, and we believe we have an advantageous tool for you. Our mortgage team is lucky to have a direct lender advantage. Our company is set up to use its own money and make its own lending decisions within its own walls. And often, this advantage allows us to get your refinance or new home loan done faster and get you a better rate, which saves you monthly and lifelong money. Rates are historically low. Now is the time to see how our special tool might work for you. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1335. RAC NMLS number 65233. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Anti-France protests in Pakistan have died down, at least for now.
The widespread disruption caused to residents in Islamabad, which began on Sunday, has come to an end, with roads reopened and mobile phone service resumed. Many observers are skeptical that the French ambassador will in fact be expelled, suggesting the agreement is a face-saving measure, allowing the protesters to retreat. Critics, however, say the government is emboldening the hardline group known as the TLP, which has held two other large demonstrations in the area in the past few years.
The BBC's Sikander Karmani. More than 1,500 police carrying out a series of searches in Berlin. They've arrested 3 people in a massive operation connected to the spectacular theft of 18th century jewels from a unique collection in Dresden. It happened last November. At least 3 more people may be involved. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Walmart turning out another stellar quarter as the world's largest retailer powers through the pandemic as others are struggling.
The Bentonville, Arkansas-based retailer delivered a 56% increase in the fiscal third quarter profits, while revenue rose 5.3%. Sales at stores opened at least a year rose 6.4%, while online sales spiked nearly 80% after nearly doubling during the fiscal second quarter. The results offered the latest evidence that Walmart's efforts to expand online grocery services are widening the gap between itself and traditional rivals.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Home Depot continues to capitalize on the desire of homeowners to improve their homes during the pandemic. Fiscal third quarter sales surging 23% and beating Wall Street's view, revenue totaling $33.54 billion. for the 3 months ending November 1st. More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
Mr. Joyce, sometimes people don't maintain their heating and cooling system.
You wouldn't go a year without changing the battery in your smoke detector, would you? You would never do that. Make sure your smoke detector has fresh batteries and call James River Air to make sure your heating and cooling systems are tuned up and ready for duty.
Anytime's a good time for a tune-up.
Plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, and appliances. James River Air can service all of these systems. We are your whole home service partner. Call or click jamesriverair.com.
Feel the hot new reels and cool cash at Rosie's Gaming Emporium. Are you ready for added excitement, more ways to win, and bigger payouts? Then stop into your favorite Rosie's and check out our all-new machines where jackpot pools start at $100,000. Don't miss the next level of jackpots, new ways to win, and big-time payouts. Only at Rosie's Gaming Emporium.
Stop by and win today or click rosiesgaming.com for more info. rosiesgaming.com.
There's a news star in Virginia, thevirginiastar.com. Finally, there's a newspaper in Virginia that delivers the unfiltered truth on politics and information you need to know.
I love it. It's about time.
Man, it's great. I read it every morning. Thevirginiastar.com. Unbiased. No slant, just facts. Thevirginiastar.com. It's not the mainstream media, it's the truth stream media. So if you're tired of fake news, get real news now. Thevirginiastar.com.
John Frederick.
Let's get to Jody and Bruce. Great to have you.
Oh my gosh, we love your show. I tell everybody about you. It's amazing. I'm hoping to meet you. You have really helped me, and you've helped so many people with your radio show. I can't thank you enough for what you do. We just think the world of you, so thank you.
The John Frederick Show. Listen all around the world on the John Frederick Show app, available in the Apple Store and Google Play.
It's so exciting.
Well, thank you, Jody, in Louisa County.
In a world where quality business information is needed, we bring you On the Mic with Mike, the leading social enterprise business show in RVA. Join Mike King, the partnership guru, daily at 1 p.m. on WJFN 100.5 FM, 92.7 FM, and 820 a.m. as he delivers game changers in Metro RVA. On the Mic with Mike showcases how business can help make society better. He discusses tech, culture, innovation, best business practices, and highlighting area nonprofits. Join Mike at 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, because it is the place where the best and brightest come to chat.
Welcome back. On the Mic with Mike is where you're at. WJFN Radio 100.5, 92.7, 820 AM. It is On the Mic with Mike. But today, it's the two Mikes, Mike King, Mike Lee, rolling with us.
Yes, sir.
Just like to say thank you for listening. As I said at the beginning, what you hear, the views are mine, have no connection to, support of, or agreement with any of the hosts or ads on the station. I don't work for the station. I just love bringing you the best business radio program in the area. Talking to Mike Lee. Oh, quick shout out. I got to give a shout out to our timepiece sponsor, which is Hanley Watches. I always tell them, so if you want to be stylish, there you go. Hanley Watches. You can find it at hanleywatch.com. And there's some great timepieces, slick, stylish, elegant, and they're for the movers and shakers. Not that I'm a mover and shaker.
Yes, you are.
Well, I'm a mover.
Yes.
I'm a mover. I like moving. I like moving.
You are a mover and a shaker.
All right, so Mike Lee's here. So, Mike Lee, we talked a little bit about your lifetimes. Thanks for being our blind friend correspondent to the program and what you bring to it. So, you told our listeners that you were at the Mona Lisa and you sat there for 3 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
When were you in Europe, sir? And what were you doing there?
I was just in Europe in December as well. Unfortunately, my father passed away, and that's the part of the story I wanted to tell you as well.
Your father lived in Germany.
My father lived in Germany. I was born in Germany.
Oh, were you?
Yes. And my mother and father were married at the time. They got divorced. My mother moved back to the States, and my father never came back to the States. So my father's lived there all of my life. So when I first went to visit my father, the first time I actually sat down at the table with my brother and my father and just us, I was 17 years old. So that's the first time I had my experience with my father in Europe, and that moment gave us the opportunity to go there like every summer. I would go visit him, or he would come here. So yeah, so that was my experience. So unfortunately, he passed away last December.
So you went to Germany. What part of Germany?
Karlsruhe, right outside of Heidelberg.
Oh, okay.
So I was born in Heidelberg.
Shout out to. So we lived in Baumholder for. That's not that far away.
Yeah, he knows it too.
There you go.
The military team, military man.
So you know the look when he said Baumholder, it was just like, oh Lord.
He knows it. Yeah.
It was, that wasn't one of the one of the pretty places. That wasn't one of the places people said, oh, I love going there. No, this was straight up hard duty. Yes, it's stuck on the mountaintop.
Yeah,
thank
he knows
you.
it. Yeah, he told me about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
So, could you talk a little bit about your commitment to the community? So now you work with young boys.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about your nonprofit.
So, naturally, when I moved back here to Richmond, I wanted to find a way to embrace my community. And I found that through Bellevue Elementary School. I actually did a parenting program there, and I was working with some parents, and they talked about a need for a program with their kids. So that's what I did. A light turned on, and I got with my good friend John Danzler and some other people in the community, and my fraternity, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And I started a program called Making Men. So Making Men is a program that works with young males, and we expose them to different community events that they wouldn't otherwise see. So one of the main things we do was an etiquette dinner every year. So we had a tailor, which is a stockpile clothery.
The clothing store on Main Street?
Yeah, on Main Street. Mr. Harris. Stockpile,
Okay.
Mr. Harris. He actually got tailored suits for our boys. Tailored our boys and gave them the tailored experience, so they were able to come in. Some of them got three-piece suits. Some of them got just regular suits.
They were styling.
Oh man, we had them
They were
looking
good.
good. So we got them tailored. The last event we did it at Havanas, which is downtown in the bottom, and we took them to Havanas. I had the gentleman come in and play the trumpet for them. We had a young lady talk to him about etiquette. We had another educator, my friend Vivi, came and talked to him about education, the power of education. We had some ladies come in and actually dance with them. They did a little salsa dancing. So it was an amazing experience. So, but we also, what spoke to me is, and you know, I guess I could tell this story that I won't tell you the kid's name. So we were getting the kids dressed because they love to see us come in with our bow ties and dressed up. They say, Mr. Mike, Mr. John, we want to look like you guys. Mr. Stuckey, we want to look like you guys. So we said we're going to do it. So we got them suited up. So we're getting the guys suited up. I know one of my guys has a vest, right? And he has a shirt on, putting his jacket on. I said, where's your vest? He said, vest. I said, yeah, I need your vest. You had a vest that goes with your suit. He said, oh, I thought that was my undershirt. So he put that under his shirt. He never had the experience of wearing a three-piece suit, right? So he put that on so that moment let me know what we were doing was powerful. So that's what we do. So every year we expose the kids to an etiquette dinner. We did it at Grand Staff and Stein one time. We did it at Station 2, which is a great burger joint. In the bottom, we did it at Station 2 in Havana. We did it last year. So hopefully when COVID settles down, we'll find somewhere to do it again.
We talk about, so that's part of the issues of the day. Can you talk a little bit about the idea of the state of black men, young black men, and where we're going 2020? What does it look like, from your perspective?
I think COVID has had an adverse effect on the growth of our young men, right?
Okay.
Because naturally, a lot of our young men need school for a safe place. They need school for even our program. That was a program that we had every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, if school was in, we met every Wednesday. From 4 to 5, sometimes it ran from 4 to 6. Those boys had an opportunity to come in there and talk about whatever they needed to talk about, right? We did some work. We did the scholastic piece, but they had a space where they can be free of judgment, and talk about whatever was on their heart, whatever was on their spirit, whatever was on their mind. Now, unfortunately, some of these kids don't have a space to do so. Not all the homes, but some of the homes, they don't have a space just to be free. So I think that is causing a lot of trauma with our young men, right? And they have no place where they can let that out. And if you look at it, even here in Richmond, there's been an uptick of lives lost in our young communities, right? Mosby, Creighton, all these different places, right? We had a kid that used to be in one of my programs that was murdered this year. went to the funeral, we did what we could, right? But those things, not to say that wouldn't have happened if he was in school, but I think it would have been less of a chance for that to happen because there could have been some intervention there. And I think there's less space for intervention now. So we have to find other ways to reach our kids. And now we're doing things virtually, right? So that's still difficult within itself, but it's still an opportunity to find out and reach out to these kids. And I think we have to do more of that in this virtual, in this COVID space, finding a way to reach out to our kids and make sure they're okay. Just check on them. Yeah.
One of the things that you had mentioned, the housing areas. Shout out to some friends of the program who put on a documentary called Heard. And it talks about people who live in housing projects telling their story about them wanting to be heard. So it's on VPM. So ladies and gentlemen, if you get the chance, make sure you take a look at that. It's done by David Powers and Angie Kane. It's Bell Tower Records. We're going to have a meeting of the cast and crew on the mic with Mike. So, it's a powerful piece, and it's called Heard.
Yeah.
So the time is 2:16 on the mic with Mike. The two mics today, Mike King, Mike Lee here, talking all things that are pertinent today. Mike, what are 2020, the election? Talk a little about race relations. How we doing, and what does 2021 look like for people getting along?
To be honest, I don't think we're doing very well when it
so
comes
now
to
you're an educator.
Yeah.
Are we at a C level? Plus or minus?
I'm going with D.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, were we at D before, and it was just covered up because we didn't have a national emergency?
Yes, I think so. So I think people didn't necessarily have a platform to be heard, and I think the times that we're in now gives a certain cross-section of our society a platform to be heard, right? Which is putting us in a tumultuous place, right? And this is on both sides, whatever you choose to believe. And to me, it's far more than just being a Democrat or a Republican, because humanity exists on both sides throughout that, right?
Okay.
And in other nations, you have far more than just two political parties, right? So let's be honest about that. At the end of the day, prior to this election, when I was growing up 20 years ago, you still had Democrats, you still had Republicans, but we didn't have the nature of this vitriol that's behind it now.
Right.
I was talking to my friend recently. This is the first time that I can think of, and maybe you can speak to this because you may be you may be 2 or 3 years older than me.
He's been very kind.
Yeah,
2 or 3 years.
But this is the first time that I can think about that we've had a president that also has a name of the people who follow him behind it. So you think about Trump, you think about Trumpers, you think about Biden. I don't know if there's a name of the people who, now we can say liberals or,
right,
or whatever we choose to call, but it doesn't have his name on it. So that says something too. Because we think about it, if whether he gets back in office or he's not in office, those people are still going to have that connection to him. So that is going to carry on. And I think that's important to look at historically, right? How that is, right? We had Obama as well, right? But I don't know if we necessarily had a name of the people who followed Obama, behind Obama.
We didn't. I think the people followed Obama. People found, they follow other charismatic people.
Yes.
But the level of people that people follow Donald Trump and the administration, and I think sometimes people forget the level of popularity that Donald Trump had in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Before people knew what we found out now. And I think from a business standpoint, everything that he touched in those days, people perceived as turned to gold.
And that's
he
what
told people how to get it.
Yes.
So the birth of the Trumpers, people were like, hey, I want to be with him because he's successful. I don't know. So whatever happens after this right here, well, the election is over.
Yeah.
So we can have every rally and car rally, whatever you want. This is a done deal.
Yeah.
Where do those people go in 2021, 22,
Right.
23, 24? How do we get back to, well, it wasn't a great place before,
Right.
but how do we get back to the getting along and understanding that just because we don't agree, I don't hate you.
Right. And I think it has to be that way on both sides, right? It has to be a point where we can say, look, you have your political affiliations, I have mine, but we can still coexist, right? We can still come to a common agreement that we both love where we live. We both so-called love America, right? And first of all, it starts with children. That's how I see it. That's why I work with kids, right? Because they're a clean slate. It starts with our children. Because kids don't really know. They're learning about politics now because of the nature of everything that's going on in the world. But prior to that, a kid's going to play with another kid, whether he's a Democrat or Republican. We're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy each other. I think we need to get back to that. And I don't know what the true answer is, but I know it needs to happen. I have friends who happen to be Republican. I have friends who happen to be Democrats. But guess what? We can sit down and we can enjoy each other and we can agree to disagree. There are times when things get heated, right? But we also come back to a common place because we love each other and we respect each other. So I think we need to have more of that. Yeah.
On the mic with Mike, two mics here, 220, Mike King here, WJFN Radio, 100.5, 92.7, 820 AM. The time is 2:20. I'd like to thank our show sponsor, Tom Childry, the credit card guy. If you have merchant services, Tom Childry is the person to help you out. 2:20. We need to go away for a moment. We will be back shortly.
Hi, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy with Beyond. I believe it should not be confusing or expensive for your business to accept credit cards. As a social enterprise business advocate, my mission gets you paid faster with fair rates, helping your business grow. We can be contacted at area code 804-503-8472, 804-503-8472, or at getbeyond.com. Again, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy. Quick, easy collect. We make it easier than you expect.
Welcome to the SBA Weekly Business Tip. I'm Martin Short with the U.S. Small Business Administration, Virginia Richmond District Office. If you want to retain complete control of your business but don't have enough funds to start, consider a business loan. To increase your chance of securing a loan, have a business plan, expense sheet, and financial projections for the next 5 years. Once you're prepared, contact banks and credit unions. Compare rates and offers to get the best terms. To learn more, visit us at sba.gov/VA. We're here to help you start, grow, expand, or recover.
Does your home need a makeover? If so, refresh with quality with LA Labor and Painting, LLC. They make your home sparkle and be the envy of the community. They are masters at interior and exterior painting, drywall. They clean decks. They landscape and remove items you wish were gone. The bottom line is, they refresh with quality, provide professional service, and follow all guidelines regarding COVID-19. Call today to make your home sparkle. You can reach LA Labor by calling 804-972-8014. Call today for the On the Mic with Mike discount. When you mention the program, you'll receive 20% off of the beautification of your most prized possession. Call LA Labor and Painting today at 804-972-8014.
Welcome to your neighborhood wellness store. Your journey with wellness is our #1 priority. We can help you navigate your journey through our cold-pressed juice bar, CBD products, health and wellness products to include hemp shea butter. Relax and unwind in our Wi-Fi lounge and more. We are located at 14822 Hull Street Road or online at yes2hl.com. Phone number 804-818-2867.
Mike King isn't a businessman, he's a businessman with his own talk show, On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program in the game.
Hi, this is Eli Cook, and you can catch me on the mic with Mike this Friday on 100.5 and 92.7 FM.
On the mic with Mike, 224, Mike King, Mike Lee here with you. We're here with you daily, WJFN Radio, 100.5, 92.7, 820 AM. Got Mike Lee riding with me today. we just bring the best and brightest back. He's just rolling the whole show. He said that he thought he was going to be here for a little bit, but he put him to work. We don't care that you got a disability, man. You here working.
Hey, I'm here for it.
You're here working. 224. All right. So when you were here before, you talked about dating.
Yes.
In the time of not having sight.
Mm-hmm.
And you told us something that stuck with us that was kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
That you said that your friend would, because shout out to Paula Pardell.
Yes, my lady.
Our friend Blue Matchmaking. And your lady Amber is a matchmaker as well.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I'm running to, I didn't know they existed until
they out here
a couple
working
months
hard.
ago.
Working
out
hard.
here helping people find love.
Yes, sir.
So what was the hardest, you're in a relationship now. What was one of the crazy things that happened, the last crazy thing that happened to you before, you got settled down? Because you had said, I asked you about the cowboy hat, and you said you would earn the right to wear a cowboy hat.
Yes, sir. Wild boy.
Yes,
Wild boy.
you said you would earn it, and I'm sure you have some stories.
I have a lot of stories. I don't know how many I can tell on the
Because we're trying to stay on the air.
Yeah, we're trying to stay there.
This ain't a podcast.
I've had a lot of wild relationship things happen. So one thing I'll say, and I'm sure some ladies might disagree with this, right? So
Okay.
what used to happen with me? So I was hanging out in D.C. a lot at the time. I moved to D.C. I lived there. I lived in Bowie for a while. Then I moved to Baltimore. And Baltimore is a fabulous city. I don't care what people say about Baltimore. I love Baltimore. It's a beautiful city, right? So I kind of cut my teeth in Baltimore as far as dating, right? So
that's where you perfected your craft?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. So what I found was there were a lot of ladies that I would meet who were considered attractive across the board, who were uncomfortable with being in my space because I couldn't see them, right? So their looks didn't matter as much to me as it would somebody who could see.
Okay.
So if they were really into their looks and, let's say, shallow, they would try their best to always bring up their beauty.
Like, basically, do you know what I look like?
Yes. Do you know what I look like? Or, if to be discreet, do you know my dimensions? So what they would ask me is, would you like to touch me? Would you like to touch my face? Would you like to touch my waist? Would you like to touch it? And me being the person that I was.
That's what Ray Charles said.
Exactly. So, and people ask me that, do you touch a girl's wrist or this, that, and other? I said no, because for me, it put me in an uncomfortable space. So I didn't want to, I'm always a gentleman, right? Always a gentleman. I consider myself to be a gentleman. So if I didn't do that, I realized it changed our dynamic. So they kind of put me in a different space. Literally, that would happen to me. Mike, I tell you, you don't know how many times I've been somewhere and a woman would say, would you like to touch my hair? Would you like to touch my face? Would you like to touch, my leg or whatever? And I'm like, nah, like that's a little too, a little too personal for me. I'm okay. And that would be the end of it, right? And so I always found that to be like crazy, right? And it was, and I hate to say this too, but the women that walked up to me, they had to have a certain sense of self about them, right? Mm-hmm. And one of my good guys in DC said the majority of girls who come talk to you are actually crazy. So I don't want to say that to any of my ex-girlfriends, but I don't think, for whatever reason, those relationships didn't work out. But because I was the only one of very few in the club. So sometimes we were in the club, sometimes we were at a restaurant, sometimes we were just out at the inner harbor. And girls would come up and speak to me. And if they did, they had to be bold enough to say, okay, I'm okay with being with somebody who's visually impaired. And those are some of the problems I had when I first met women too. They would think in their mind and then articulate. I didn't know what it was to be with somebody who was blind and visually impaired. I didn't know if you could be able to take me out. Or I didn't know if you were able to necessarily make me feel comfortable as a man, because they looked at me differently. They didn't look at me as a man.
So when people look at you
hurtful.
now, do people look at you different? Like,
Yes.
do people treat you different?
Yes.
And what's the difference?
Some people treat me differently. Some people treat me the same. But it's about your spirit too. And I tell people that all the time. I was coming back from Fort Lauderdale yesterday on the plane, and the stewardess, she was just so pleasant and so nice to me. And maybe she was doing that to overcompensate, but I told her when I got off the plane, you know what, I have to tell you, you have a beautiful spirit. Like, I love it. Because a lot of times people are a little different and a little rude to me because they don't know how to interact with me, and that happens. And a lot of people don't believe those things happen, but my friend John can tell you a lot of people that I know they've seen a lot of things happen on a regular basis when it comes to, because what happens is most people, they see me and they say, okay, well, he can't be blind, he has to be acting, it has to be.
That is true.
Yeah, and that's what's hurtful, because you're taking something away from me that I don't want.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time is 2:30 on the mic with Mike. Mike Lee here with us. We got to take a short break, and then we're going to be back with the ladies from the Jackson Ward Collective. We got them on board with us. They're doing some amazing things, and I want to talk to them. So we'll have Kelly, Rashida, as well as Melody, and we'll talk to them on the other side. On the mic with Mike. Thanks now.
Hi, Chef Michelle here of Mama Michelle's Cafe, home of the Soul Rolls, located at 10811 Hull Street Road. Give us a call at 804-912-1644 or order online at mamachells.com. Ask about our off-site catering options as well as our online ordering through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Follow us on all social media at Mama Michelle's Cafe. That's Mama Michelle's, Soul south of the James. Mention Mike on the mic and get a free dessert on us. Special rules apply.
Dessert Diva RVA. Specialty boutique with specialty products, providing custom experiences. Our dessert boutique is open on the weekends. Every dessert made from scratch. We also offer date nights and event decor. Dessert Diva RVA, the official home of Party in a Box.
Hi, this is Sylvia Farbstein, and I am on the air with Mike King. He is widening the lens of humanity, and I'm so happy to be a part of his journey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. We are the Social Enterprise Business Program in the Richmond area. I'm your host, Mike King, riding along with Mike Lee today. It is my honor now. It's our honor to talk to the ladies, the driving forces behind the hottest new thing in business incubatorship, I guess we could call it that, in the area, the Jackson Ward Collective. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good. Okay, so who do we have on the line? So let folks know who's out there with us.
Good Melody Short. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. So Melody Short is on the line, co-founder of the Jackson Ward Collective.
Welcome.
This is Rashida Creighton, co-founder of the Jackson Ward Collective.
Welcome.
Hey, Mike. Kelly Lemon,
Kelly.
co-founder, Jackson Ward Collective.
How you doing, ladies? Kelly, welcome. All right, ladies, so you guys got the thing in town here down doing some big things. Talk about the creation of the Jackson Ward Collective and how it came to be and what the aim and purpose is.
So the Jackson Ward Collective is really a hub. We connect Black business owners to each other to create community, and then we connect our members to resources, whether they be financial resources, programmatic resources, or technical support in order to ensure that we are helping them grow their businesses and meet their short and long-term goals. Our mission is simple. It is to learn, grow, and own in the Black community. And when we say ownership, we don't just mean business ownership. But for those that have brick and mortar spaces, we want them to own the physical locations where they are.
Now, you ladies are accomplished in your own right. How did it come together that the three of you would launch that?
Well, I mean, Mike, it was kind of simple. It was right place and right time, being very organic about, being intentional about looking out there and seeing what's missing and what was going on. Rashida, was in one side of the industry. I was kind of just starting the urban hang suite, and Mel was, in education and helping small businesses, along with working with a very major, big Black-owned, business. And it was just kind of organic the way it all happened. I was struggling with my business and, kind of was like, if I'm struggling, there's got to be others out there that are struggling. And then for Rashida and Mel to be, right there, right place, right time, when we were given the opportunity to sit down with someone who is now our service partner, it was just organic for a need of Black businesses to be able to say, hey, we need support. We know that there's some people out there that's giving me support, that's providing these resources. So why don't we take the initiative to help each other?
Well, right at the bat, I'd like to say thank you to you ladies, because you guys have been, instrumental in me getting to where I am. Kelly, I remember knocking on your door saying, hey, I'm Mike King, and I appreciate that. Mel, thanks for the help over at MBL with that. Rashida, I see what you're doing out there. How do you guys, so you guys put the word out there, entrepreneurs, and you guys have gotten a great response in people needing help, as well as with the media picking on up what you're doing. What's the one thing that when entrepreneurs come to you that they could use that you guys see right off the bat, and what do you provide to them?
A lot of what our members are in need of is community, and that's like the foundation of what we offer, being a part of a network of individuals that are in various stages of their business, and seeking the same types of resources. Everything from, needing to form what we call your A team, which consists of your attorney, you're having a CPA on tap, a financial advisor, and a banker at your disposal, to securing capital for your business at any stage of business, whether you are just starting your business or you're looking to scale your business. So, our members are able to access resources in that regard and everything in between.
So this is Mike Lee here. What's the process of becoming a proud member of your organization? How does that happen?
So becoming a member is actually pretty simple. You go to our website, www.jacksonwardcollective.com, and when membership is open, you actually just sign up. We have a monthly membership option at about $20 a month, or an annual membership option at $200 a year. I say when it's open because we launched on September 14th, and we actually have paused our membership right now because we, within 2.5 weeks, exceeded 150 members. And one of the things that is special about what we do is that we really take some time with you in the intake process and in the early stages to understand your business, so that we can ensure that what we offer meets your needs. And in order to ensure that we do give each of our members that individualized attention, we needed to pause our membership so that we could give that to every one of the members that had signed up. And then we will open it back up in January.
That's beautiful. That sounds like a good problem, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
So, ladies, you guys came from different angles and seeing things from different perspectives. Can you each talk a little bit about how you see the Richmond business community now, and what does 2021 look like from your perspective?
I'll jump in with that one. I think that the Richmond business community in general, Mike, or the Richmond Black business community?
Well, you know what?
There's a big difference.
Okay, you know what? That's true. So we hear enough about what goes on Richmond RVA community as a whole. Let's drill down. Let's drill down to our community and the service that you guys are offering to entrepreneurs.
Got it. Want to make sure we're clear. I think that for Black-owned businesses right now, I mean, we're just growing. We're thriving. We have weathered so many things that this storm that we're in right now is just something that's continuously giving us strength. We are called Jackson Ward Collective because we're standing on some very strong shoulders. So, when it comes to Black businesses and Black entrepreneurs right now, I think that, we're taking the risk. We're giving it a try. We're like, no, we need to own ours. We need to form these legacies. We have to have something to pass down to our children. So I think that, we're doing good in spite of, and that just talks about our resilience and, all the things that we can come through. So that's what I think about Black businesses, and especially looking at it from the Jackson Ward Collective lens is, like you said, it's a good thing to reach a capacity, but we're also being able to see the holes that need to be filled by Black businesses and Black entrepreneurs and Black thoughts and Black bodies. Like, there's so many things that are missing that we could be doing, and those opportunities are out there, and those people are out there. They're just afraid to take a step. They don't know that they can quit their job and do this. They're afraid. Healthcare is a scary thing. So despite all of that, we're growing in great numbers, and I think that's a great thing.
Hey, Rashida, what do you think?
I think Kelly hit the nail on the head with that one. One of the things coming from a corporate background, I think the other piece of it is always really thinking about what it is that is being offered and is it really meeting the needs. To Kelly's point, like a lot of people, especially in our community, are, pursuing their dreams, but it's a side hustle until it's sustainable. And how do we make things available that meet people where they are and allow them to do after hours? There's a lot of programming out there. There's a lot of workshops out there, but they're not actually accessible to us, and people miss that.
Hey, Mel, what's your thoughts on it?
I was going to say 2 nails have been hit on the head. I think that, I disagree with what Kelly and Rashida both said. I do think that folks are really buckling down, and especially because of the pandemic, and are saying, now is more of the time than ever, because what we see is that, we have to be more self-reliant, right? We can't depend on, other people to ensure that we're able to provide for our families. And one of the ways in which that we can do that is to be an entrepreneur and to ensure that we are setting ourselves up for multiple revenue streams. So I think people are really starting, as much of a challenge as it can be, and it can be incredibly scary, I think people are seeking communities such as Jackson Ward Collective so that they're surrounded and supported by others as they take this leap of faith and say, you know what, I'm going to pursue that goal, that entrepreneurial endeavor that I've always wanted to pursue, and now I'm able to do so with the help of a community like the Jackson Ward Collective.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time is 2:42 on the mic with Mike. Today it is the two Mikes, Mike King and Mike Lee here, talking to the ladies of the Jackson Ward Collective. We have Rashida, Melody, as well as Kelly. So, ladies, when you look at what is type of resources, when you're talking to business owners who are out there, entrepreneurs in training, in waiting, what are some of the resources that you say that you could tap into to make the dream a reality, or to take the side hustle and make it the main thing?
So there are a number of things that we offer. We always start with our service partners. We have several service partners that run the gamut from what you need when Melody mentioned earlier about your A team, so your lawyers, your bankers, your accountants, brand team, business coaches, leadership and executive coaches, real estate, insurance, you name it. We actually have a group of partners that we can direct our members to, all Black-owned businesses, all fully vetted, that we are indeed vouching for. So that's kind of a starting point. We also have programmatic partners where we may place someone in a workshop, a series of workshops or programs that they offer, because we are not here to reinvent the wheel. We want to partner with other resources. So whether it's Metropolitan Business League or SBSD or some of the many organizations that are here. And then we also have strategic partners. So we have
technical resources that we pull on through organizations like Virginia Community Capital, Capital One, Hunt and Andrews, Kurth, to really provide some more one-on-one support. Again, it's all very customized, and it depends on what each business owner needs. So you're never going to get a, hey, everybody, this resource is available. Who wants to talk to them? You don't get that with us. It's very customized. We really spend time to understand where our members are, what their goals are, and what resources we can bring to meet them where they are and help them get to the next place.
Time 2:45. The ladies of the Jackson Ward Collective here with the two mics today. What is the mood on the street of Jackson Ward right now, 2020 post? We're going into the holiday season. From a black perspective for business, what does it look like down there, Kelly?
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Unfortunately, Mike, right now, all of downtown is kind of boarded up still. And it's boarded up because the people that own, and I don't want to say a majority, but a lot of the buildings in that area don't live here. And so they just have boarded up just to protect themselves, but don't know how bad it looks to and for the businesses that are open every day, having to look at that or defend it because there are people that are saying they're not coming downtown because they think it's a war zone. We're open. We are open. We are, we're serving, just kind of disappointed that we were doing so good and we took such a step back. And then, put COVID in it as well as we, have limitations on how many people can be in our spaces. So, I think downtown is going to come back. I think Jackson Ward, has plenty of opportunities in general. So, again, just to step back for a second.
2:46, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, can you hold with us for just a moment? I got to go away for a break.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the ladies of the Jackson Ward Collective. Mike Lee, Mike King here with you talking. This is the place where the game changers come to talk. We'll be back shortly.
Hi, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy with Beyond. I believe it should not be confusing or expensive for your business to accept credit cards. As a social enterprise business advocate, my mission gets you paid faster with fair rates, helping your business grow. We can be contacted at area code 804-503-8472, 804-503-8472, or at getbeyond.com. Again, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy. Quick, easy collect. We make it easier than you expect.
Do you want a crystal clear picture of your finances? Dial 804-601-0532 and schedule your free financial review with Crystal Clear Financial Solutions. Find us online at crystalclearfinancialsolutions.com.
Are you tired of dating online? Bloom Matchmaking offers a safe and effective alternative. Every match is vetted and background checked. Bloom Matchmaking offers a personalized experience just for you. Check us out at bloommatchmaking.com or give us a call at 804-205-5063. Let Bloom take the stress out of dating. Mention On the Mic with Mike and receive 20% off. That number again is 804-205-5063. Bloom Matchmaking, where love grows.
Hi, my name is Daquan Woodbury, also known as Chef DQ. The restaurant industry is going through a hard time right now. With COVID-19, a lot of things are going on. Restaurants are shutting down. They might have to even close their doors for good. In the past few months, we've seen how life can change dramatically in a blink of an eye. Fortunately, I've created a system, a proven system, that allows restaurants to stay successful in this new way of life. As the owner of RVA Cafe, I would love to help you through these challenging times. Go to redindigofood.com for more information.
Mike King isn't a businessman. He's a businessman with his own talk show. On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program in the game.
I enjoy listening to On the Mic with Mike every day at 1 p.m.
That's what I do!
Welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. You heard the man. This is the place where the game changers come to talk. Mike King, Mike Lee here with you. We're talking to the ladies of the Jackson Ward Collective. We have Kelly, Rashida, as well as Melody.
Miss Rashida, I believe every success story comes with some sort of pain, right? So I'm curious to know what level of sacrifice did you have to endure to get to where you are now?
Oh, that's a good question.
I like the way you said, "Ha!"
Okay,
that's loaded.
It's getting ready to
Yeah, but that's what I like to address. Like, you know, I believe everybody has a purpose in their pain. I feel like y'all are living that. So I want to know. I think people need to hear what you had to overcome to get to where you are.
Yeah, I'll try to do the 30-second version of it. So I had about a 15-year career at a large company here in Richmond, and roughly around 5 years ago, my whole life sort of turned upside down. I began the process of a very long and drawn-out divorce. And that quickly turned me into being a single parent to a then 1.5-year-old. And at the same time, I wasn't happy in my career. And so literally gave up a promotion that was staring me in the face because I wanted to do something else, realizing that I might not have a job, you know, within a year of that. Fast forward, and I found myself in kind of a job of a lifetime, opportunity of a lifetime to run and to design and run an entrepreneurial center. And then got to a point where I was like, I think I've done all I'm supposed to do here and I'm ready to try something else. So all of those things led me to this point here that were filled with a lot of personal drama, I would say, and tough times and navigating. I had to reestablish myself financially, literally from nothing. And here we are, thriving. You know, my daughter's doing great. She's 6 now. And really, you know, building this thing that I believe will make an impact in this city, in this region, in this country, but also leaving a legacy for my daughter. So that's the 30-second version.
That's absolutely beautiful.
That's true. So, Melody, could you give our listeners some of your background? You know, it's a highlight reel, you know, but could you give our listeners a little bit about you?
Yeah, so just in a nutshell, I am, you know, native of Richmond, went away for college. I graduated from the Earl Grey School of Business at Morgan State University. And I like to say that because I do believe that that was the initial seed that was planted for me in terms of having interest in entrepreneurship. Professionally, I worked for Sony Music Distribution, but I had the opportunity to work specifically with mom and pop record store owners, right, when those existed across the country, and they were my accounts. And so oftentimes, particularly in the South, if they owned a record store, they likely owned a restaurant, a gas station. So they literally became family for me since I relocated away from Richmond. And I just was, I was naturally just kind of drawn to being able to support those accounts beyond what was required from my job at Sony. And so that's where I started to provide services for small businesses, Black-owned businesses in particular. And then, as Kelly mentioned, I later relocated back to New York and worked for Aquaba Bed and Breakfast Inns, which is the largest chain of Black-owned inns in the country. They've been in business for 25 years. And, you know, after working for that empire, I knew that that was the work that I wanted to continue to do for the rest of my life. And so I'm happy to now have the opportunity to do it for myself in partnership with Kelly and Rashida through the Jackson Ward Collective.
That's great. You know, one of the things that I guess the people's travels are varied, and each little piece that you get along the way makes you who you are today. And you never know when you're going to run into a group that you can have an impact on, like you guys are doing with the collective right now. Kelly Lemon.
Yeah.
Let folks know what you got going. You got a million things going on, but let people know, you know, for the 2 or 3 people who don't know who you are, like I was the day that we met at the TV station and at Brewers, when I said to you, hey, you need to be on TV, and I'm the guy who can help you. Little did I know who you were at that time.
You dealing with a boss. You didn't
Yes,
know.
I did. I didn't know, Mike. So let people know what you got going on right now, besides being the owner of the Urban Hang Suite, which is a big thing.
Yeah, well, Mike, I call myself like a serial entrepreneur and Richmond's head varsity cheerleader right now. Like anything that deals with Richmond, I am for. I am definitely here for. But more importantly, I want to see our city be very intentional about making sure everybody is getting the proper exposure. So food, sports, arts, and education is like what I am passionate about, what I wake up and do every day and love that part. And so I figured out kind of ways to make money in those areas through the Urban Hang Suite, Like the Fruit, which is my hosting kind of platform, my festival platform, which I have Heart and Soul Brew Fest, which hopefully we can bring back next year. So if you're a beer drinker, that'll be coming back next year. Richmond Black Restaurant Experience, we have been able to just bless some of Richmond's best in Black culinary arts through that experience, and we're coming strong 365. And then the podcast Coffee with Strangers. That took a whole nother turn this year with the pandemic and race wars. And I've gotten to really dig into some deep conversations with people. And so I'm proud about that too. But yeah, that's it, Mike. That's kind of what I'm working on.
That's it. I do want to touch on the Black Restaurant Experience. What you guys started from the beginning was outstanding. The level that you took it to this year, the people that I know, the interaction that you had once it was over, and the support that you guys gave to the restaurant owners, they all are shouting, kudos to you guys, because they said it made a difference on the connection between each restaurant and how you guys became a community. And that's something that you guys, you and the Mimis really drove, I guess, as far as community goes, because the restaurant owners are like, wow, this is what we really needed during these tough times.
Yeah, Mike, really, if you want to kind of go full circle, add Africana Film Festival in this, add Richmond Night Market in this, add why the Jackson Ward Collective, was even probably started. Our hospitality industry was getting ignored, but our Black restaurants were booming. They are the heartbeat of, some entrepreneurship. Shout out to the Eggleston family, in Jackson Ward and Croker Spot brand being one of the first. It's like, we were there and we were already kind of planting the seeds. And so it's just dope to kind of see us come together. And, like you said, shout out to the Mimis. It really helped me be able to just pick up the phone and really connect with Mel and Rashida, easily and organically to make sure our Black businesses win. All of them.
Kelly, how was that connection made? How do three powerful women decide to come together as you call it, a collective? Like, how was that connection made?
I think I screamed help, y'all, right?
Yeah, is that what it was?
You know who's good at stuff, and y'all, when we say it really happened very organically, I had been kind of screaming on Instagram that, we need to own the block, don't sell grandma's house. How do we, how do we own our businesses instead of making money for these landlords? And I had an opportunity to meet with someone, and Rashida walked in the hang suite, y'all, just because that's the way the ancestors called it. And she sat in on this meeting, and then it was like, all right, I think Mel had come up on Instagram or whatever. We knew that Mel was back in town, and was like, yo, we need to just all sit down and try to figure this out. And we did one Sunday, and had some push from some other Black leaders in Richmond. It was just like, it's time, y'all, y'all do this. And
yeah,
all right, hey, the time 2:59. Mike Lee wants to keep, but we got to go, ladies. One last time, how can people find you?
I was letting somebody else jump in on that one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, so we can be found online. Our website is jacksonwardcollective.com, or you can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at Jackson Ward Collective.
Ladies, we'd like to just thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure interacting with you. If there's anything the program can do, please let us know. 259, we'd like to thank the ladies from the Jackson Ward Collective. Mike Lee's here with us. Kris Coop, we'd like to thank you for coming on. On the break with Mike, we're here daily, 100.5, 92.7, 820 AM. As always, say, let's take care of each other. And when this is over, baby, I'm on the way home. Tomorrow we're going to have SBA Wednesday, so make sure you check us out. On the Mic with Mike, the best business program in the land. Ladies, thanks for coming on. Take care now.
Two Mics, thanks for having me.
It is the two Mics.
You're listening to WJFN Goochland, WJFN Chester.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The head of the Senate says his party is trying to get more